What's up, my beautiful people? This is your boy Stefan, your Afro-Grenadian ambassador. I welcome you back once again to my channel, my supporters, viewers, subscribers. I appreciate you, and don't forget to watch all the ads that are placed on my videos. In this video, my friend, we're going to take a listen of an American professor called Richard Wolff. Well, he is an economist, and he was talking about the mass deportation of Donald Trump and how detrimental this will be, not just to the American economy, but to the world. So I thought some of the things he said was quite interesting. And let's take a listen, and then we'll come back and discuss it.
The Department of Homeland Security says there's somewhere between 10 and 12 million undocumented immigrants in the United States. So as an economist, let me make one thing clear. We are a rich country of 330 million people. The economic problems we have, which are severe, could not ever have been caused by 10 to 12 of the poorest people on the planet. The notion that the immigrants are a cause of the problems we face is stone cold ridiculous. It may be a clever scapegoating, it may work to get you votes, but it has nothing to do with reality. Number two, there are certain industries that concentrate undocumented immigrants. Agriculture is a big one. The restaurant business is a big one. Yes. Construction is another big one. And then there's a whole host of other industries, but those are the big ones. In those industries, undocumented immigrants are a major part of the labor force. Not only that, they are a more important cause of the profitability in those industries than their mere numbers would tell you. Why? Because an undocumented immigrant can be and is regularly abused by the employer. Yes. For the obvious reason, which if you have any contact with these folks, they'll tell you 10 different stories. I've heard them all. It's Friday afternoon. Everybody's going to pick up their check at the front office before they go home. Jose arrives. He stands in line, waits for his check. The boss says, Jose, we've had a terrible week. We didn't make the money. I can't pay you this week. But if you come back next week, I can be sure to pay you. What is Jose going to do? Answer, nothing. He dare not go to any government office because he's an undocumented. He can't show a paper. He can't show a residence allowance, nothing. He's terrified of going anywhere near the labor office. There's nothing he can do. And the employer knows it. The employers look for these people because of this. And I'm not going to take your time and mine to talk about the abuse, sexual and other, that this situation invites in all the ways you don't need me to tell you about. Okay, now let's imagine you deport them. First of all, that costs billions. Because you're talking about 10 to 12 million people. You have to house them, you have to move them, you have to feed them in the process, you have to deal with the umpteen million lawsuits that will immediately crop up around all of this. This is going to take time, and it's going to cost personnel, and it's going to be an immense expense. But that's the least of it. Here comes the big one. Every one of those industries is a crucial player in the inflation level of the United States. Who's going to pick the lettuce? Who's going to pick the fruit? Who's going to do all that work? Who's going to clean the dishes in the back of the restaurant? Who's going to clean up at the end, the evening when the patrons of the restaurant go home? Well, the answer is you either close the restaurant, and that has economic consequences, or you close the farms, and that's really not an option, or you're going to have to hire Americans. And Americans won't be afraid to go to the labor office if you don't pay them. So you're going to actually have to pay them. And you're probably going to have to pay them a good bit more than the immigrant for all the reasons you normally pay immigrants less than native workers, which means the cost structure of these industries is going to take off. And you know what they're all going to do, those employers? They're going to raise their prices. They're going to want to do that to recapture the extra costs that will come. And the government has not proposed anything that will substitute here. I've heard one professor tell me, oh, we don't have to worry, AI will take care of this. You know what AI does? It makes people like you and me superfluous. But are we ready to go and wash dishes at the back of the restaurant? Are we ready to pick apples? Really? You're gonna cause social upheaval. You're gonna cause inflation. Mr. Trump can't do that. Inflation is half of why he got elected.
True.
How can he turn around and then be the person who has to go on TV and try to explain why he promised to deal with inflation, only it's gotten worse?
The professor said it all, guys. He said it all, and he was right. I share the same sentiments with him. Is that, this mass deportation, this policy that Trump is planning to enforce as soon as he takes office, I think Donald Trump have to revisit that policy and rethink about what he's doing, because this will have grave repercussions on the American economy, because it is migrants that have built America in the first place. America is built on the contributions of migrants. Most Americans, whether white, brown, whatever it is, they have family members who are immigrants or migrants coming to America for better living. I'm pretty much sure that Donald Trump himself maybe have a trace of a family member who was immigrants. Even his wife is an immigrant. So it is, it will be a detrimental thing on the American economy. I think what should he do is that maybe put things in place where they can properly be registered into the country, because as the professor said, who will do those dirty jobs that a lot of Americans themselves don't want to do? Most of the dirty jobs is people from third world countries, is outsiders, immigrants that comes and clean the toilet, because most Americans don't want this kind of jobs. Clean the drains, wash dishes or wares. We just say wash the wares, clean, work on the farms, pick the apples. Is most third world country people that comes and do these things. So if he were to deport people, mass deport people out of America, the economy, I think America will definitely feel the brunt of it, and that will drive the American economy into a state of recession. Now, we have to stand up, as I said, in the Caribbean and push back against that. African on the continents need to stand up and also push back against that. So I do agree, I truly agree with the professor. This will cost millions and billions of dollars, and it will that will drive not just America, but that will drive the world into chaos. Yeah. So guys, let me know what are your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about this matter, about this video. But I want to say the professor was on point with what he said. He was on point. And the Trump incoming administration, I believe, should revisit this plan of theirs to mass deport people. When you do these things, you have to feed them, you have to house them, you have to clothe them, then you have to have chartered flights. That is a lot of money. So as this policy of Trump continues to come under scrutiny, a lot of people are saying this is absurd. This is absurd, and something needs to be put in place where these people can become legal, immigrants, of America and at the same time make a better living. Because most of these people, they are seeking better lives. Some of them, I guess maybe, the country is going through difficulties. Some of them maybe don't, they choose to go to America. So guys, whatever it is the issue, whatever it is the reason these people are there, I find that it will be a bit impossible. I'm not saying it will never happen, because anything is possible, but mass deportation is is quite a task. And as I said before in previous video, I am curious and I am anticipating when President Trump come into office. I'm very curious to see how he would go about doing so. So guys, thank you very much for watching. God bless you until the next upcoming video.